Hey yo guys, let's talk about the Rising of the Shield Hero episode 11. So I just watched this right now, like fresh in my mind, so I want to give a little review on it. So I've not been reviewing this for a while because of time constraints and that, but I'll give it a go for this one. I'm feeling extra good. So this is the second wave, so it's not the first wave, so everyone's got a bit of experience on the wave. And we see Nafumi's got a bigger group now. Because last time it was just him and Raftalia. That was a bit embarrassing to watch, really, just like them to fight everyone. And they were kind of helpless and kind of weak. But in this one, he's got these fodder type knights that wanted to help him because he saved the village, so they came along as well. And if you look at the levels, you can see that they're not that spectacular or impressive. They're only like level 20, 20s with like, and whereas he's like level 30, 40, so is them. So they're not like a big help, but they're still every little helps, I guess. And it increases Nafumi's overall battle strength with them coming along. So we see them into the wave, right? And we see the classic Nafumi's trying to defend the village and stuff, and we get little what do you call it? A little throwback from a few episodes back where Nafumi was, what was he doing? He was healing those villagers who got diseased, and at 10 you see like one of the old women that he saved was like really strong, and you see just her one shot these like lizard like fodder and stuff. So that was pretty fun. It was pretty funny and interesting to watch, because then it kind of shows that there is a bit of consequences for the actions that the characters have. So the consequences of Nafumi's action of reviving everyone and helping them turns out in a good way. So it was kind of like karma, and she was there to help defend the village. But he was just defending the village for like a good 3 hours, and then he was like, "Oh, what's up with these three? Like, why haven't they done anything?" So that's why he kind of went. He's smart. Unless because normally he would have just defended the wave until he was just relying on those three to kind of defeat the wave, and he was just like waiting for them, like stalling out the village. But this time he decides to go and help and like see what's up. And like he just goes onto Philo's back with Raftalia, and then they meet up with the arrow, the bow hero. That's the one. But like the bow hero sees Nafumi, and you can see his facial expression change to like a sour disgust, like, oh, why is he here? Because he's like, he turns around and you can see like this split reaction where his like face just goes sour. Classic. I guess the bow hero still isn't a fan of Nafumi. I guess in terms of order of who hates him the most, it would go Mai. I don't know why she hates him, but she hates Nafumi the most. Then it would go Mukuyatsu, the spear hero. He hates Naofumi the most as well. And then we got the bow hero. He still despises him, but not as much as them two. And then we got the shield hero. He despises him less than the bow hero, which was shown last episode when bow hero didn't believe Naofumi's story, whereas the sword hero actually believed him. So it kind of shows the different scales of hate that they have for Naofumi. So that's why you see a bit disgust. And Naofumi jumps onto the ship, and he sees what's up, and like, why haven't they destroyed everyone? And you see like the skeleton, right? And I saw this in the, what do you call it, the preview for the last chapter, and I thought that was the boss. I was like, whoa, he looks kind of deadly. Turns out it's just some fodder pirate that like regenerates and stuff. And this kind of reminds me of it's like when your parents come home and they're like, and they see you haven't done any chores, like, and they see what's up, and they're like, why haven't you done any chores? And then they help you out and make everything easier. It was just a lack of incompetence, to be honest, from the other three. I quite like how Nafumi is like, yeah, you guys take it more seriously. It's not a game, because I reckon, because Nafumi doesn't see this as a game anymore. Like, he's quite immersed in all of this new world and stuff anymore. Whereas them three, they probably still see it as like a game, like a VR virtual isekai kind of thing, where their actions have no consequences. And that was seen from last episode where they just don't care, they just like hack and slash everything. But it was kind of like a wake up call, like the teacher telling off the students, and you can just see how incompetent like everyone else is. Like despite having an offense like that's meant to be legendary strength, they can't really do damage to anything or figure. They don't even have brains, to be honest. That's the way it was portrayed. And then we see Naofumi use his brain to use light magic because he notices there's some shadows, and he finds that the Soul Eaters were actually hiding in the shadows of the creatures. And then with that, they all the Soul Eaters come out, and they fuse into like one massive like soul monster. And this thing is pretty strong because we see all three of the offense heroes just hit it with like some spells, and you see it do no damage. But I guess they were all using the same element as well. So like yeah, we see him use the same element, lightning, and it seems to have no effect. But then when Philo uses wind, that seems to have some effect. Yeah, and like while I was watching this, I wasn't sure. I felt like Nafumi was the only one with a brain in this because he was actually analyzing his opponent and stuff and his situation, whereas they were just blindly attacking. Maybe they were thinking as well, but it just shows that Nafumi was clearly more tactical than them. It's probably just due to the nature of his weapon, and that's how he has to play more strategic than them. Whereas they're playing on easy mode. I reckon that's what it is. They're playing on easy mode, so like a casual hack and slash, just press X X X. That's kind of their mindset. Whereas now for me, he doesn't. He's playing on like a veteran mode, so he has to like manage his resource, check the environments, typing, all of that stuff, and that's probably why, because he was a shield hero, he has this kind of output. I mean, mindset compared to them two. I mean, them three, we just seem like some brain dead potatoes who just spamming like X all the time. But then we see Naofumi use the curse shield again, and he's kind of forced into this when he realizes that he doesn't really have time to mess around. Not mess around. He doesn't have time to like take his time and beat the enemy because he sees the HP of the villagers and the knights, and you see them, they're quite low. So he's kind of forced into this because he has to protect them. So he's forced into using his shield mode, like his cursed shield mode, which is pretty cool. And it now makes sense where he got this cursed shield mode, because I thought it was an ass pull, like he has some ancient power within him. But it turns out that dragon he slayed, and when he absorbed the dragon, like its remains were still around. So that's why the shield went berserk, I guess. And yeah, and we see like the dragon talking as well, like, "Oh, you will pay" and stuff. So this is kind of like his special power, very Naruto style, with Kurama, and he's got like a cursed dragon. But it's pretty cool though. He gets a lot of power ups and stuff. So he uses that to fight the spirit thing. But even that's not enough. And then we get like a speech from Raftelia telling off the other three boneheads, right? Like, oh, why aren't you guys doing anything? Like, why don't go help him and stuff? And then they're just like, oh, it's because we don't like him. That's literally why they didn't help him out. But I guess with a little bit of inspirational talk from Raftelia, they decided to help out. So that was pretty cool. But those boneheads are boneheads, like they're stupid and stuff. I think they're purposely written to be unlikable. But I don't know, they just seem so brain dead to me. Like they're like literally like some playing with noobs. That's what it feels like in a party full of noobs. And also, the reason why they didn't beat the monster was because the lack of teamwork that they had. And last wave was just too easy for them because it was just easy level. But this has shown that you need teamwork does count. So that's why that's kind of like the main focus of this episode, that we see a lot of teamwork from Naofumi. He's quite used to teamwork, whereas I guess they're more of a soloist player who just always by themselves. They didn't know how to act as a team. But it was pretty cool to see them team up at the end and beat. Actually, they didn't really do anything in the end, but we see Nafumi kind of harness the power of the cursed dragon, and you see him unlock some new skills for the whole dragon. It was pretty cool to see the interface, like the way it changes and stuff. Quite enjoyed it. And we see Nafumi do like a finishing move on that Necr Melomark creature, which is pretty cool, where he puts it in a ball, his trap prison. We've seen that before. But we see Spikes impale the thing, right? And I thought that was pretty cool. Like, yo, quite creative. And then like Nafumi chants some like crazy stuff, and he said, and this like flying spike trap comes in the air, and he just summons like a spike trap, and it ends up like he chants some like stuff. I forgot what it was, but I remember Iron Maiden, and it was so epic. Like I was like, whoa, that was so badass the way Nafumi kills the monster. We just see it flow up into its demise. It enters the Iron Maiden, and you see it close, right? And it doesn't close fully until like it has like a view of Nafumi's like hand, and he crushes his hand, kind of to like signify what's happening. I guess it puts a bit of emphasis on the whole like impaling to death kind of thing. But that was pretty cool. I was like, whoa. I was very impressed with that scene indeed. Like it left a very cool impression on me. I keep using the word cool. Like it was epic. I enjoyed that a lot. So we see that dying, but we see how much effort it took to beat just one of those things, right? You know, like the other three heroes didn't do any damage. They were pretty much useless. They got carried by Nafumi. And then we see another one appear from like underneath the decks. And I thought, I was like, whoa, this is kind of GG. But we see this other character step in and just like completely one-shot the thing. The fact that she can, and then like it's like like a like a, what do you call them? Like a female ninja. I forgot they're called. It's like a Kanochi type girl, and she's got like a fan and stuff. And I was like, whoa! Like if she can one-shot that creature, then she must outscale everyone else there in terms of output damage and level. Cause them lot are like level 50 and like 40, 50, and they couldn't do anything to it. And the fact that she could one-shot it means she must be so OP. But then I quite like how she addresses how incompetent everyone was. Like, yo, you guys are meant to be heroes and stuff. Only one of you is worthy to be a hero, and which I quite like here. It gives Nafumi the praise that he deserves, even though she's meant to be evil. And apparently they have to fight her next. And I'm like, damn, how are they gonna do that when they could hardly do anything against that other, like that fodder? Well, it turns out it's fodder for her, against like the boss soul eater thing. But it turns out she might be the boss. Yeah, this is like the plot is thickening a bit, and she can see sentient as well, so she can actually talk. So that's quite interesting indeed. I want to see what they're capable of. But yeah, I'm very disappointed in those three actually, because they didn't really do anything in this episode. But it just shows how even if you have something really good, if you're like even if you have the best tools in the world and weapons, if you're an incompetent fool, you can never use it to its full potential, kind of thing. Like it just they don't have the skills for it, which is kind of disappointing. But yeah, this kind of shows how much better Nafumi is than them. I hope they realize that and they just get off their high horse and stuff and like just give Nafumi the respect that they deserve. But yeah, this was it. This was a very good episode indeed. I think this might be my favorite episode so far of the Shield Hero. Can't wait for the next one.